South Zone known as F3. The headlines: Educationists call for improved welfare package for teachers. President Muhammad Buhari commends National Assembly for contribution to national development. Former head of police in South Africa's province appears in court over corruption cases. Today's commentary is on the socio-economic potentials of the newly inaugurated Itakwe Ajokuta Wari rail line. Details in a moment. At clocks 60, let's join hands to uplift her. Now the news in full. My name is Rachel Onap. On the occasion of the World Teachers' Day, an educationist in Rivers State, Chief Joshua Ukala, has called for a good welfare package for teachers in the country. Chief Ukala, who made the call in an interview with correspondent Uzamaka Onwu, lamented that some teachers indulge in examination malpractices and extort from students due to poor salary. He urged the state and federal governments to use the occasion of the World Teachers' Day to look into the challenges facing the teaching profession to improve the well-being of teachers. Ukala also advocated training and retraining of teachers to equip them with modern technologies of teaching, especially now that the country is battling with the COVID-19 pandemic. The theme for this year's World Teachers' Day is Teachers Leading in Crisis, Reimagining the Future. The pandemic has added to the challenges of teachers worldwide, and the future of millions of children are at stake. Teachers are at the center of it, making sure that no child is left behind. The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, yesterday directed its members to proceed on a 14-day warning strike from today over alleged inconsistencies in the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System (IPPIS), non-payment of the arrears of the national minimum wage, and the failure of the government to pay the earned allowances. The union also hinted its decision on the non-payment of retirement benefits to its members, lack of seriousness, and delay by the government in the renegotiation of the 2009 SANU federal government agreement. The Akwa Ibom State Ethical and Attitudinal Reorientation Commission, EACOM, has embarked on a campaign to educational institutions in the state to sensitize students on the need to embrace the official symbols of the state and learn to sing the anthem and recite the Dakada Creed. Flagging off the campaign and sensitization of Akwa Ibom symbols in selected secondary schools, the executive chairman of EACOM, Dr. Dorothy Thompson, while addressing students of Uyo High School as well as all other schools visited, charged the students to focus on their academics and shun all forms of social vices. Dr. Thompson observed that the long lockdown, which led to the closure of schools, may have caused many students to lose focus in their studies, with many deviating into social vices. She said EACOM intends to help the students regain their focus on what would make them grow into socially responsible citizens. The EACOM chairman explained that its state has taken a major leap by adopting official logo, flag, anthem, and creed. She accordingly tasked the students to imbibe the philosophy embedded in the anthem and the significance of the flag, logo, and creed. Farmers engaged in pepper production in Delta State say the venture has become more profitable following the introduction of hybrid seedlings and mechanized farming made possible with the support of the state government and its partners. They stated this when members of the project steering committee visited sites of several initiatives across the state as part of the concluding phase of the schemes. Correspondent Ogenero Egwere reports that the farmers also appeal to the stakeholders to extend the interventionist programs to enable them master the art of modern pepper production. A section of Yenagua residents have expressed divergent views on the level of development in the state since its creation on October 1, 1996. 24 years after the state was created, analysts who spoke with our reporter, Dokas Ofurumo, say there have been a slow pace of development of the state. Trade unionist, Mr. A.B. Sikpe, expressed lamentation that the state has not attained much compared to the huge allocation it receives monthly. Mr. Sipi, an author and convener of the Bielsa Annual Reading Book Competition and Book Summit, said leaders have not done enough to fast-track the development of Bielsa. His commentator, Mr. Basil Napuru, advocated that priority should be accorded to critical sectors of the state such as good road network, electricity, pipe-borne water, and human capacity development. 300 level student of law at the Niger Delta University, Mr. Johnson Dobeni, said the political class has not showed enough commitment to the development of the state. Others urged the leaders to unite and work towards the progress of the state in the foreseeable future. President Muhammad Buhari has commended the National Assembly for contributing its quota for the development of the nation. The president said this at the Joint Executive Legislative Leadership Retreat held in Abuja. President Buhari listed the achievements of the legislature to include confirmation of nominees and passage of budgets. The president urged the lawmakers not to relent on their efforts in carrying out their legislative functions in cooperating with the executive to tackle the challenges facing the nation. Buhari further unveiled their 9-point development agenda, which include affordable health care, infrastructural development, tackling corruption, and industrialization. You're listening to Radio Nigeria, South Zone News at 3. Here are stories in the bulletin so far. Educationist calls for improved welfare package for teachers. President Muhammadu Buhari commends National Assembly for contribution to national development. Still ahead. Former head of police in South Africa's province appears in court over corruption case, plus business, entertainment, sports commentary and weather. Do stay with us. Welcome back. The news continues. The National Insurance Commission (NICOM) says its portal is now operational. It intends to fast-track the process of the nation's insurance market. For details of these and more on business news, let's join Austin Ine. On the foreign scene, the former head of police in South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province has appeared before a court in connection with a corruption case. A warrant for the arrest of Mamoye Ngobeni had been issued on Friday after she failed to appear at the Durban Magistrates Court, but she did not show up today. She faces corruption charges relating to bribes that were allegedly paid to her to try and get an inquiry into a tender issued for the 2010 FIFA World Cup stopped. It is considering if more restrictions need to be put in place to control rising cases of coronavirus. At her daily briefing today, First Minister Nicola Sturgeon said a decision would be made in the next few days. She said there had been a significant number of new cases reported over the weekend, which was a cause for concern. 697 new cases have been reported in Scotland since yesterday, which represents 12.8% of new tests. Israel says it intends to ban the buying and selling of animal furs, apart from in specially approved cases, making it the first country to do so. Announcing plans for new regulations, Environmental Protection Minister Gila Gamliel said the use of skin and fur for the fashion industry was immoral. Her ministry said future permits would only be considered under certain limited criteria. Animal rights group PETA said it applauded Israel's move. Until now, only a handful of cities in the US and Sao Paulo in Brazil have banned the sale of all animal fur. Nigerian singer Douglas Jack Agu, popularly known as Runtown, to lead EndSARS protest, as movie star Majid Michael debunks undergoing surgery on his throat. Jay Alatoro has more on entertainment. He's been excused from the Super Eagles international friendlies against Algeria and Tunisia after a local health authority in the southern Italian region banned Napoli players from traveling. The Nigeria Football Federation announced Osimhen's withdrawal from the squad via its Twitter handle. The NFF stated that gang striker Paul Onuachu has been invited in place of the new Napoli striker. Meanwhile, Wilfred Ndidi will miss Nigeria's 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying doubleheader against Sierra Leone in November. Ndidi, who underwent a successful groin surgery a fortnight ago, is not expected to return to action until Christmas. And now the commentary. Economic potentials of the newly inaugurated Itakwe Ajokuta Uwari rail line is written by Sam Eruse of Radio Nigeria Charity FM Asaba and read from our studio. On the socio-economic potentials of the newly inaugurated Itakwe Ajokuta Uwari rail line was written by Sam Eruse of Radio Nigeria Charity FM Asaba and read by Mokwelola Oke. And Radio Nigeria South Zone News at 3, a recap of the major items. Educationist has called for improved welfare package for teachers on the occasion of the World Teachers' Day. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended National Assembly for contribution to national development. Former head of police in South Africa's province KwaZulu-Natal has appeared in court over corruption case. As Nigeria clocks 60, let's join hands to uplift her. You can visit our website www.radionigeriasouthsouth.gov.ng for all the stories in this bulletin. For comments, suggestions, and eyewitness reports, email us at newsfrcnssz@gmail.com, or you can call us on 0810 109 2407. On behalf of the news editor, Victory Isoni, and the production team, my name is Rachel Ona. Thank you very much for listening. Good afternoon.